To start, we're given a brief explanation about Cross Reverie, given by our protagonist Takuma Sakamoto, introducing himself and his MMO character Diablo as the true demon lord in the game. Takuma keeps talking, and the audience learns that he's the socially awkward type of gamer. Without warning, he's summoned to an alternative world as his MMO character, and his summoners then each kiss him on the left and right side of his cheek. Ren Galleu is from the Pantherian race, a tribe of cat people. Shera L. Greenwood is from the elf tribe, who specializes in archery. Astonished by his predicament, Diablo's summoners debate on who summoned him and who should be his master, both believing that they were the ones that summoned him during the summoning ritual, with the procedures including the kiss. Upon learning this, Diablo is left awestruck that he was just now kissed, and regrets not enjoying it further, as the two summoners continue debating whether who summoned Diablo, and unintentionally revealed to the curious Diablo that he's at the top of the large stone tower, known as Starfall Tower. Approaching the bickering ladies, Diablo realizes that, for the longest time, he's never really actually talked to anyone else in his life, especially the opposite sex, which leaves him in quite the predicament. Therefore, Takuma decides to act like his MMO character, Diablo, trying to use his persona how he would act. He then addresses the two in an abrasive manner, ordering the two of them to shake hands with a smile, initially hesitant to do so, and an overwhelming power forces the two of them to obey Diablo's command. After this is done, slave collars appear on both the summoners, which astounds all three of them. At the bottom of the tower, the trio walk and they talk along the way, talking about the failed ritual. In it, Diablo realizes that his demon lord ring reflected the enslavement spell onto his would-be enslavers. Detailing this to the summoners that magic has no effect on him, the group heads to the nearby town to try and dispel the enslavement spell on them. The elf, realizing that she hasn't introduced herself as well as her companion, decides to do that to a Diablo. We already know them, but I'll do it again. She introduces herself as Shera L. Greenwood, an aspiring adventurer. Her companion, the Pantherian, introduces herself as Ren Galleu, and she seeks to improve her skills as an adventurer. Being labeled as a rare summoned creature, Diablo denotes that sentiment, and not wanting to reveal himself as a shut-in, so he proclaims to be the Demon Lord. Hearing this impresses Shera that she managed to summon the Demon Lord, which annoys Ren, with this sparking another argument about who summoned who. This is stopped by Diablo, who snaps at the two of them, and they now continue going to the city. Reaching their destination of Fultra City, they check in at an inn called Peace of Mind, where they're greeted by a bubbly innkeeper, me. Nauseous over being in what is considered a large crowd, Diablo is further shocked that Shera wants to register a room that's shared with Diablo. The reason behind this is due to a lack of funds that they have. Rim chimes in, insisting that Diablo is going to be staying in her room, and then sparks another argument between the two of them, and they're stopped by me, who threatens to throw all of them out. It's then revealed that the three of them are now sharing a room together with a single bed. Contemplating his predicament over using a single bed, a woman acquainted with Rim named Celeste Baudelaire and her two followers are entering the room. Diablo recalls that name somewhere in the game, and Shera states that Celeste is the head of the Mage Association. Remembering Celeste, as she's wished to be called that, is a prominent figure in Cross Reverie, as one of the people who maintains the barrier of the city. Her initial motive was to talk to Rim. However, seeing the slave collars on Rim and Shera's neck, she brings Diablo along with them. She states her curiosity about the situation, being worried as a friend. That night at the inn's cafeteria, Celeste is brought up to date with everything involving the failed enslavement ritual. She's also informed that Diablo is unable to dispel the enslavement cast on them. Celeste realizes that she's going to have to start from scratch in researching a way to dispel the slave collars on Shera and Rim's neck. Diablo asks in a very authoritarian manner about her business with them, which makes one of the people behind her very angry, with this being her follower, Galleu. Internally, Diablo is frightened, but he gives back a menacing retort that irks him, but he's then reprimanded by his superior, Celeste. The subject then changes in a brief conversation between Celeste and Rim, who declines having any more bodyguards around her, despite Celeste's well-meant intentions. With that settled, Celeste's party leaves for the night, and Diablo asks Rim about her relationship with Celeste. Rim refuses to talk about it, and Diablo has sympathy for her past, with her wanting to keep a secret, and deems that it's related to the main important storyline, saying it's best to learn beforehand to avoid preventing any future disasters. He grabs Rim and places her on his shoulder. Diablo takes her back to their room for torture. Back in their room, Diablo tortures her in a very light, innocent manner until she finally confesses her secret. Rim reveals that she has the Demon Lord Prep Skull sealed into her body, and Diablo recalls that Demon Lord name being the strongest boss in the game, stating that she wishes to release it and extinguish the soul from her body. Diablo then details doing that would kill Rim in the process. Furthermore, he deduces that Rim's relationship with Celeste is because of this goal of hers, and that they are in quite the predicament. The sealing of the Demon Lord is also hereditary, as Rim's mother had Krepskull's seal on her body as well, before she died. Fully aware of Rim's predicament, Diablo vows to help her, which gets her emotional, as Diablo won't leave her side because of her condition. Afterwards, Diablo goes on an excursion around the town, while reflecting on everything that's happened today, with this being due to his loner nature. Eventually, he's approached by Galleu and his colleagues from the Mage Association. This leads into an altercation between the two of them, and Galleu summons a level 30 salamander. While Galleu is boasting and threatens Diablo about the summon, Diablo notes that while impressive, its level is rather weak. The salamander then spews a blaze of fire on Diablo, who walks out of it unscathed. Panic-stricken, Galleu orders the salamander to incinerate Diablo, and the salamander fires a massive flamethrower. However, the attack still has no effect on him, with Diablo being level 150. Equipped with his wand, Diablo then casts Explosion that eviscerates the salamander. Diablo approaches the confuddled Galleu, who demands to know who Diablo is. Diablo answers that he is Diablo, a demon lord from another world, ending the first episode. Awakening in the Peace of Mind Inn, Diablo realizes that his experience from the previous day wasn't a dream. Diablo then puts himself into an awkward position in bed. He's trying to wonder what is this very soft and squishy thing that he's feeling, as well as what is this flatter, still nice in its own way, thing that he's pushing against. He then notices what is going on, and notices that his little Diablo is awakening. Later that day, while walking to the streets, Diablo notes that the various races that appear in the world were also in the game. It's detailed by Diablo that while they're walking, there are no humans around them, to which Rim answers, the district where they're walking is for the demi-humans only, internally, and then asks the question, if levels are the main concept of strength in the world. Shera confirms so, but has yet to learn her own level, and Rim claims that she's at the level of 40 for summoners. The place where they're heading currently is the Adventurers Guild, and they should be able to discern Shera's own level once they all register there. At the Adventurers Guild, a fight between two beastmen occurs, and the overall atmosphere of the place has Diablo nervous. Wasting no time, the trio head to the second floor to register. Unable to read, Diablo has Shera register for him, but states it as he loathes tedious tasks and trivial work, and Shera happily enjoys to do so for him, reinforcing the idea that she's his true master. Things, however, get more complicated when a blood seal is needed for the final process. Diablo puts on a brave face, and he tries to give himself a tiny cut on his thumb, but on the other hand, his tiny cut turns out to be deeper than anticipated, with him losing a lot of blood. Next, the group stand out before a mirror that tries to appraise their level. Shera is level 30, much to her dismay. Then Diablo goes next, and a scene where the mirror spazzes out, with it not knowing what to do. This attracts the attention of the entirety of the guild, but mainly the guild master, Sylvie, who asks the trio to come to her office. Inside the office, Sylvie states that due to Diablo's high level, there aren't any jobs that would require someone as high as his level. However, Diablo is willing to work regardless, only caring about the reward. Sylvie is confused, having to point out that here, she would be his leader and boss, and would he really feel comfortable being bossed around by someone so much weaker than him? But he reinforces the idea that he simply doesn't care. Hence, Sylvie assigns the group to subjugate a Madaria snake in the man-eating woods. En route to the woods, the group converses about their job that they've been assigned, and how the requester was thought to be Celeste from the Mage Association. The subject then changes to Diablo suggesting they should have just simply used a teleportation spell, or an item to just simply reach their destination. However, no such thing exists here, with them being rather confused. Finally, reaching the man-eating forest, Diablo notes how macabre the woods look in contrast to the game. Just then, Shera details that they're surrounded. Therefore, Diablo casts Burst Rain, setting part of the woods ablaze, and pulling the ambushers out of hiding. Said ambushers were elves, one whom Shera knew as Celsior, who claims he's there to rescue her. Celsior aims his bow and arrow at Diablo, while demanding he release Shera, the princess of the kingdom of Greenwood, from his enslavement ritual, demanding answers as why the elves would be posting requests from the Adventurers Guild under the Mage Association name. Celsior refuses to answer Diablo's question. This leads Diablo to figure out that there's only one person who could have orchestrated all of this. Frustrated by this, Shera speaks her mind, saying she doesn't want to marry her brother or bear his child. Yuck, gross, weird, and incest. ? Which is starting a back and forth debate between Shera and Celsior, with this leading to Diablo retaliating against the elves, who fire a barrage of arrows at him, but they're all ineffective because he's 150 and these are just simple wood arrows. I don't even think a gun would hurt this guy, so why would this hurt? Celsior then uses what is called Tempest Arrow and fires it off at Diablo. However, that too is ineffective against him. Unamused by the elves' antics, Diablo casts Freesia, which is in the name, freezes them in ice. Out of nowhere, Galleu appears, chastising the elves, who is in turn berated by Diablo and reprimanded by Rim. Distraught, Galleu flees the scene, and Shera orders the elves to inform her brother that she's not returning home and not going to marry her brother, yo weirdo. With the work now settled, they go back to the inn. That night, in their room, Shera and Diablo have a heart-to-heart, which leads to a very ecchi scene that we all know and love. Truly, a masterpiece of words and dialogue being spoken. But their fun time together is then interrupted by Rim, who's very livid, and so is her tail. Just look at that tail, it's mad.